You clicked on the video to find out how DEvin Haney has signed up for 24/7, 365 year-round VADA testing. In this video, I'll tell you everything you need to know. So let's get into it. Just came out that DEvin Haney has officially signed up for VADA testing year-round. In this video, I'll tell you what that means and give my deeper comments and thoughts. Make sure you follow me at Boxing Ego 1. Link in the description. Trying to get to 75,000 followers on the gram on my second page. You know, your boy Ego been doing this. So we working. Boom. DEvin Haney signs up for year-round VADA testing. 24/7, so it's 24 hours in a day. 7 days a week, 365. What does this mean? This means that VADA and their agents and their testers are liable to tap in with you whenever they feel. You have to pretty much have complete availability because it's a randomized test. To truly catch people, you can't really schedule it, because if a person is cheating and they know when there's going to be a test, like, for example, let's say you had trouble with the law, you got out of prison or something, and you had a probation officer. If you're PO, you know you meet with them on Friday, you have to do a test when you go in to meet with them on Friday. Then you just know whatever's in your system, if you are using, needs to be out of your system by that time. But when it's random, you never know. Boom, you never know. This paper is 95% bullshit, but it's entertaining. Now you won't let me read it. Now you entertain me with your book. Boom. You never know. So that's what DEvin has signed up for. Let me show you the proof, and then I'll get into my thoughts. VADA. They have the blue check, VADA testing. It says VADA welcomes DEvin Haney to our 24/7, 365 program, and it will extend to January 2nd, 2026. So this is confirmation in case you needed it, that everything I said in this video was accurate. There's a lot of low quality content available in boxing. Bad audio quality, bad visuals, cheap thumbnails, rushed videos. I'm here to give you the truth and the facts and keep it high quality. 2025 will be an amazing year. Bill Haney comments, committed to greatness requires accountability. DEvin Haney continues to set the standard as a clean, tested, and proud champion, 365, 24/7. The grind never stops, and neither does the dedication to being the best. Hashtag VADA champion mindset, yada, yada, yada. Victor Conti says DEvin Haney is the only pro boxer in the world doing 24/7, 365 drug testing. Hopefully more boxers will be willing to do year-round testing and provide leadership for the clean boxing movement, etc. Now, the moment you really been waiting for, Boxing Ego thoughts. Now, I'm not going to roast, or I don't really have any jokes or anything clever to say. If DEvin is committing to year-round testing, bravo, right? Because we do want a clean sport. On my channel, since the build-up from the inception, I've always maintained that. I don't do drugs. I don't even drink. So, to me, I think that's paramount to preserve the integrity of the sport. And I've always stated that on my channel. So I don't really have anything negative to say. If DEvin wants to sign up for year-round testing, then, you know, good on him. I guess he wants to be a role model or whatever. That being said, the juicy part. I honestly believe this is posturing from the Haneys. And I know some people are like, what do you mean, Ego? How is this posturing? Because notice that DEvin Haney's randomly in the news cycle a lot recently with weird stuff. Young Thug and the tape. Then days later, buys the baby mama and wife a car, buys her a Maybach, you know what I mean? Just these weird, it's like antic. There's a lot of antic with the Haneys ever since the Ryan Garcia fight. A lot of antic. For example, Bill Haney stated on Twitter and social media, he pitched this idea that Ryan has 48 hours to sign up for VADA. I made videos at the time when he did it. Those 48 hours went by and elapsed. Ryan was like, why would I listen to the Haneys? They're suing me. I'm not doing what they say. I'm suspended. Like, bump you. 48 hours passed, and then what? Nothing. So that was one of the earlier antics. Bill Haney was trying to suggest, hey, I'm going to create this artificial deadline for Ryan Garcia. Not boxing, not the commission, not a judge. Nobody told Ryan to do this outside of Bill Haney. And this was their first attempt, right? To, I guess, prove Ryan's a cheater, and I guess he won't be willing to do this. And it kind of backfired because Ryan blew it off and then later announced that he was doing an exhibition fight, which did get postponed. But to no avail, there was no progress made there. And then the world moved on. This is now the latest stunt and the continuation of that to me. They're announcing that DEvin's doing 24/7 testing. Again, I have no problem if DEvin is doing 24/7 testing, but here's the problem that I do see. And this is why y'all turn to me, best in the business, and it's not even close. Tell me how it makes sense that the fighter that never tested positive, never failed a drug test, has signed up for 24/7, 365 testing, but you never failed. So I don't even understand what this is supposed to mean, given the fact that DEvin is not the one that popped dirty. So make that make sense in the comment section. Like, what does this prove when DEvin never was the person that failed a drug test? For example, if I'm in the passenger seat sober and then I'm with somebody who was drinking and driving, they boom, crash into a pole. Cops come, accident report, they get taken to jail. My friend gets taken to jail. They get booked, charged with a DUI. That person, the friend that got charged with the DUI, they would then probably have to pay fines, lose their license, and do some kind of driving etiquette school. I've never had a DUI because I don't do that. I know people who have had DUIs. That's the way it works, right? So why would the passenger who didn't drink and drive, who wasn't behind the wheel, who wasn't inebriated, that's like them signing up for the driving school when the accident wasn't caused by them. You guys understand the analogy? So with DEvin, Ryan tested positive for Ostarine. So why this big announcement that DEvin is doing 24/7, 365 testing? Because it's all a synchronized, concentrated effort to, I guess, put pressure. You got to look and think of these things. I think they're trying to put pressure on Ryan Garcia like, yeah, we're signing up. We're role models. We're goody two-shoes. We signed up for year-round testing. I bet you Ryan won't. So I guess they think this is going to create like an angry mob of fans and pressure for Ryan Garcia. Listen, it doesn't change the fight. The fight was what it was. Ryan is the A side. I don't care what none of y'all talking about. Ryan's the A side. It is what it is. So you doing all these antics and you think people are going to follow suit. The problem with that is this. Another problem is this. Again, I have no problem with him signing up for year-round testing. But you got this synchronized effort to like prove that DEvin's clean, but he never failed a test, including Victor Conti, who has a snack program, and he's responsible for one of the most notorious drug scandals in sports history with Balco. So this doesn't look good. The other thing, if you look in the comments, you got a lot of people who are saying Didn't VADA introduce Margaret Goodman of VADA to the people in place and help like establish VADA? So DEvin being on year-round testing, Ryan himself and fans, they're like, yo, but you have Victor Conte, who kind of had his hand in the inception of VADA. So what does this really prove? People are skeptical of Victor Conte because of the Balco scandal. So they're like, yo, of course you would sign up for VADA in that testing agency because some people believe it's headed by Victor Conte or he's a consultant. So again, more antic. You're signing up with VADA, which Snack and Victor Conte had a hand in developing and is kind of an advisor for VADA. So what does this prove? So these efforts are falling flat from the Haneys to me, and you can see it in the comment section, right? My man can't even get a fight. And then it's just a bunch of people who are still roasting DEvin Haney for this. Clown, only boxer wasting money, sign up to get beat up again. So all these telegraph moves from the Haney, to me, are backfiring. It's not that I have a problem with somebody signing up for VADA, but the other issue, a major issue with that, is what does it prove, like I've been saying, when DEvin never failed the test? So what does it prove that he's doing year-round testing? The other thing is that's good that one person in boxing is doing year-round testing, but no one else is doing that. The last person that I remember that did that was Nonito Donaire, and he's like 41. I don't know if he's fighting still. He's not the most active fighter, right? So, okay, DEvin's doing year-round testing. Now what? What about Artur Beterbiev? What about Dimitri Bivol, Shakur Stevenson, Floyd Schofield? Everybody on the Riyadh season card. No one else is doing this. So again, it's antic. What does it prove? To really correct the problem, it would have to be like mandated through boxing, which it hasn't been, that everyone is mandatorily on this year-round testing protocol. So other than that, to me, this is kind of a stunt, because if you don't have everybody's cooperation, then I don't see how this proves much. So to me, this looks like almost like a publicity stunt. Like, DEvin is doing it. He's the model boxer and he's clean. People said DEvin don't even have power like that. So I don't know how many people think he's on something. Maybe some people do. I don't know, because of the weight class, moving up and cutting weight and stuff like that. But I don't really understand what this means or how this is going to pressure Ryan Garcia. Another thing, I done forgot more than these other content creators ever knew. Boom. Canelo already did this. Canelo tested positive for clen, a.k.a. clenbuterol, back in 2018, ahead of the fight with, hey, no, guys, hey, Max's punches, guys, is nothing, tick, 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 nothing, right? Golovkin. Fight got postponed. Canelo was suspended 6 months. ESPN, Dan Rayfield wrote for them at the time. May 15th, 2018, Canelo enrolls in drug testing, clearing a hurdle to fight Triple G in a rematch. And I'll put this all together. This is the actual tweet. Again, I am the best in the business, and it's not even close. Look at how thorough I am. These are tweets from 2018. There's a lot of content creators who say stuff, oh, breaking news, big news, huge news, and this is happening, this and blah, blah, blah. They don't show you. They're just saying it. I'm showing you everything that I'm talking about so you can get a better understanding. So appreciate that. Subscribe, hit the like button. Different ways to help the channel continue to put out content like this. Canelo Alvarez posted this. His fight got canceled Cinco de Mayo with Triple G. It was supposed to be the rematch because of the clenbuterol. He put this out in Spanish, also in English. May 15th, 2:06 p.m. I want to let you know that I signed the contract with VADA Testing for year-round testing. And guess what? When Canelo did this, nobody else did it also. So all the other relevant fighters at the time, let's say Wilder, Tyson Fury, whoever, Errol Spence, Lomachenko, whoever else was popping in 2018, Danny Garcia, Sean Porter, Lipinets, whoever, Mikey Garcia, Oscar Valdez, nobody else did this. So again, as I've stated, DEvin is in a drought, we'll say. Canelo was popping. He was like the face of boxing. And if Canelo did year-round testing in 2018, he's not doing year-round testing now. Ask him. So again, what does this prove? The only way to make that successful is if everybody's on board with it. One person out the sport doing year-round testing, like Nonito Donaire, like Canelo in 2018 to 2019, like DEvin Haney in 2025 to January of 2026. It really proves nothing. It proves that so I named 3 people that I know that have done this year-round testing and made themselves available for that. And other people were still failing drug tests during the Gerald Big Baby Miller failed a drug test. Povetkin failed a drug test. So it didn't really stop anything. This is why I'm saying it's really an antic from Team Haney, because to really stop the problem, it's going to take a village, not just one person from the village. So yeah, congrats to DEvin Haney for signing up for VADA. Canelo did the year-round testing too, but he didn't keep up with it. And he also tested positive for clenbuterol, and now he doesn't do year-round testing. So it proves you're clean for a year. Now what? The Haneys are pulling out all the stops, trying to control the narrative again. Bill Haney even said, yo, new content creators, let's get you up and running. So they're trying desperately to save DEvin's image with these stunts. And I told you, there's only one way to resurrect DEvin and try to get him back to the spot. You can believe me, don't believe me. It's none of this business. It's getting back in the ring, fighting credible foes. And so far, they're doing all these stunts and antics, but they have no actual announced fight, right? Shakur has a fight. Lamont Roach, Gervonta Davis, Floyd Schofield got a fight. So you signing up for year-round drug testing, right? But you're not even in camp. You don't even know when you're fighting. They're talking about, Bill Haney said his son will come back after April, most likely. So that's halfway through the year. The 5th month of the year is May, right? So you're doing drug testing for the first 4 months since you're not in camp and don't have a fight. Why would you be on anything? You're not in training camp. And I'm not saying that DEvin is or has been on anything, but I'm saying, what does this really prove? So you got to look at the ulterior motives. For me, that is the Haneys. They're trying. So if they don't rematch Ryan Garcia, they're going to be like, it's because he doesn't do year-round testing. Nobody is mandating that Ryan does year-round testing. If they rematch, there should be above and beyond testing for the fight. But to me, this is like a scapegoat. In the event that the fight don't happen, they'll probably use it as a fail-safe, like, oh, it's because Ryan didn't sign up for year-round VADA. All these moves seem very desperate and very telegraphed. And that's the way I see it. Because okay, for example, why do you even have to advertise that DEvin's on year-round testing? If you don't, like, I do things for charity or give money, I don't even bring that up on my channel. Like, I don't show you, like, I'll just give you an example. When Flint had that issue with the water, I sent cases of water to churches in Flint. I have the receipts and everything for them, right? No one knew. That was several years ago. No one knew about it until just now, because when you're doing things for the right reason, you don't really have to even advertise it most of the time. So to the fact that they're advertising it and it's like a synchronized effort to bring awareness that DEvin is doing it, they want credit for it. They want a cookie for it. And they think that inadvertently this is putting pressure on Ryan Garcia. Ultimately, I don't think the fans are that invested, at least a lot of the casuals, to the point where they're going to pressure Ryan. What they're going to do is continue putting gifs up of DEvin getting slaughtered and dropped by Ryan Garcia. So I'm not impressed in terms of this move, because I don't think it does anything unless you have everybody's participation, right? And DEvin clearly doesn't. You're also, I just showed you, Canelo Alvarez already did this and no one else joined him and did year-round testing. Canelo heard the deafening criticism and on Tuesday announced he is enrolled in the drug testing program with VADA. I want to let you know I signed for VADA for year-round testing, Alvarez wrote. It is a move that could go a long way to helping restore the Mexican star's tattered reputation. So Canelo did it. People were calling him a cheater, and he did what he felt he needed to do at the time. And once it kind of blew away and he was several fights removed from this like scandal, this testing fail scandal, then he got off of it. So yeah, I just don't see, DEvin is not even in the position where people are following DEvin's lead because his stock has taken a major hit. Plus, like I said, you have the issue with Victor Conte's involvement in VADA. Some people don't even trust VADA for that reason, and this is the company that is chosen. So I get it, but to me it's a miss because the reasons I've outlined in this video. So I think this is really kind of a publicity stunt. It's a roundabout effort, just like the 48-hour deadline that Bill issued on Ryan Garcia that went nowhere. This is an extension of that. The Haneys, from lawsuits to carnival fights to 48-hour deadlines to tweets to, look, DEvin is a goody two-shoe and he signed up for year-round drug. They're trying all these things to win back the public favor. But look in the comment section. See what people are saying. It's not really favorable. And they're trying everything outside the ring to circumvent the criticism and make DEvin Haney's stock grow. And I keep telling you guys, there's a way to get his stock back in higher regard than what it is now. And it's not all this stuff. Listen, if you do year-round testing, bravo. You don't even have to advertise that. You're a clean athlete. You never failed a drug test. You're not going to pressure an A-side Ryan Garcia to do anything because Ryan, you know, okay, so what are you going to say? Like, for example, let's say Ryan's like, I'm not doing year-round testing because let's be real. Year-round testing is involving, like it takes your involvement. Year-round testing, you have to pay for it. These tests aren't cheap. So you have to pay for it. It's intrusive. What if you're like in the Bahamas with your girl and then the testing calls you and they're like, we're sending agents, blah, blah, blah. You have to part with your wife or kids and set off to the side or whatever and take blood and stuff like that. So it's not even about just cheating. Some people aren't going to really adore that portion of year-round testing. Again, this is how you can kind of catch people, but it also involves being more intrusive, right? It's just like when the Rona, 2020, a lot of jobs were like the people that were anti-vaxxers and didn't want to get the vax. A lot of jobs and companies would be like, every day before work, we got to cotton swab you and do the rapid test to make sure you don't have Rona going into this building. So, you know, it does become more inconvenient. You can't just walk into work like you did before the pandemic, all right, at that time. So that's kind of how like this year-round drug testing is. Again, I understand the purpose, but like I've been saying, it does cost money and you have to make yourself available whenever the agents want. And here's the other thing that you don't know, some people. If you are not available, that's like a negative check mark and it actually counts as pretty much a failed test, right? And I know some people are confused like that. This is what happened to Julio Cesar Chavez. If the agent comes to test you and you reject it and say, no, I'm not doing this test, then that really counts as like a negative mark because everyone would do that. Somebody would be on steroids and then they would say, oh, I don't want to take the test or come back later. And then that's how you would get out of the test. So it does reflect negative if you don't do the test for whatever reason. If you're asleep or whatever, you just got to make yourself available. So I haven't figured out, you know, an actual solution to year-round testing, but I know it's not this one person. This is like I Am Legend. You the only Fred, say something, Fred. Like you the only person doing it. Will Smith and his dog, they the only person in the city outside of the little zombies that had the virus. No, say something, Fred. Like you, Will Smith and I Am Legend, you the only one doing this. So what does that really do? Oh, Devin's a clean athlete. Yeah. The guy that never failed a drug test is clean. But what about everyone else in boxing? Where's your next fight? What about the damage the Ryan fight did to your stock? There's other things to, I guess, tackle. But this is how the Haneys are going about it. So again, I'm not mad that Devin's doing year-round testing at all. But I think this is a lot of posturing for the reasons that I've outlined in this video, because it's. So let's say I'm just making up a rant. This is just a totally random, right? Let's say Devin were to fight Teofimo or Subriel Matias. If he's on year-round testing, amazing. But what if they're not? So then what does that really mean? So now a clean Devin could be, fighting somebody who's not on the same protocol. So unless, and Devin is the B-side in a lot of top fights, Tank, Ryan, stuff like that. His stock is low. So no one's, I personally don't think that he's going to usher in a new era, because Canelo, when he did it, nobody else did it. So why would Devin, whose stock is extremely low and people are making fun of Bill and Devin at every waking moment, why would everyone in boxing round and be like, hey, Devin did it? Devin is not Floyd Mayweather, where Floyd's a trendsetter. When Floyd was do something like say hard work, dedication, like us, easy work. When Floyd say those things, those phrases and taglines, they stuck and people got it and people copied. Nobody's really copying Devin Haney. They're saying, oh, you lost to Lomachenko. Oh, the Ryan fight was nasty for you. So I really don't see what this move is going to do to fix the problem in boxing. That's my honest opinion. But let me know what you guys think in the comments.